Hello, my love. Not sure what I'm doing here, but this seems to be the only option, the only step that I can take right now, and this is what I'm doing. I feel very raw, very insecure, uncertain, pretty much everything. So it's like the dark night of the soul, and I'm gonna just admit everything that I've been wanting and that I'm tired of it. I'm tired of appearing perfect. I'm not. I am no makeup. I cried for a long time, so my eyes are all swollen, and I'm wearing my man's shirt, and it's in the middle of the night and everybody's sleeping, so it's worst lighting ever. And I think I've been working on my online program, the first online program, and I honestly don't know whether it's gonna happen or not, because pushing doesn't feel right, and I just have so many other things to do, like taking care of my man's mom. It's been so tough and such a journey to learn to being hurt, but then realizing that I can't be hurt. Like, it's my lesson to learn, and then learning the lesson, and then getting up again and being vulnerable again, and going out there and doing it again, and then being hurt again. And I'm saying all of this not in a pity party way, but in a way that I accept this, and I'm really grateful for that. And I also had this thought that I want to do this because I want to show how it is to go through it, what it means, because why I was crying half an hour ago was because I felt like I'm still there, like my whole life has been the same pattern, that I see the truth, and I see the right way, but I can not make people go this way. And after, like, I see the greatness in people, I see how we can get to where we want to be, basically, but I don't seem to find the right words, or maybe it's like I'm pushing people and people resist, and this has been the story of my life until I left my ex, and I decided to never ever wanting to change anybody and trying to change anybody. And that was my biggest lesson, basically. And then I discovered coaching. So I moved to New York, and I dove into myself. I was determined to make myself happy, to find happiness for myself. And then, like half a year later, I discovered coaching, and I was like, what? People actually, like, there are people who would want my help? That sounds like magic. That sounds like amazing miracle. And this is why I started coaching. And now it is going in a direction where I feel like it's like I never want to say it's a test, but it's like a even bigger lesson for me to learn, to wanting to help a person where it's a matter of life and death, basically, literally. And it's really hard to not to impose my view on people and to watch them. And it sounds really arrogant. Now that I'm saying this, sounds really arrogant, that I took my sweet time to change and to grow and to make my mistakes and to starting to like kale, as funny as it sounds. But so while I was crying, and I literally broke down on the kitchen floor and cried and cried and cried and felt terrible and felt like a failure. I really felt like a failure, like nothing changed actually in these almost 4 years. Nothing changed. And I'm always doubting myself. And even I was talking with my sister, and I feel like everybody's so much further than I am without putting in so much work. And I'm also seeing people around me like Brené Brown or Gail Evans on Periscope, and they're talking about exactly the same things that I am living and breathing, and that I know that this is the truth, and they find words to explain what I believe is the truth, and I don't have words for it. I'm literally thinking that I'm kind of like degressing. See, I don't even know how to say it properly in terms of finding the right words, and it really it's painful. Like, I cannot communicate. It really is painful, and maybe it is just a phase, because I really like writing. I love writing. And I was reading my blogs recently, the old ones from a year ago, and I was like, oh my god, this is really beautiful, this is really raw, this is really amazing. And I'm struggling right now. I'm really struggling to find my own voice, and I'm seeing people on Periscope, and I love them, and I think this is so amazing what they're doing, and I see people growing and living their lives, and then I heard Brené Brown saying today that it took her 6 years, I think, to write the first book. Not the first one, but the first one that got to the number one, to be the number one on the New York bestsellers list. And I'm like, maybe I have time. Maybe maybe I'm not the overnight success, and I've been craving it for such a long time. It's like I want to be made. I want people to recognize that I'm special, that I'm amazing, that I have gifts, and I guess I have to do it myself. And it's really tough because I'm longing for the success, and I'm longing for the one thing that is gonna bring me out there and make me famous. It sounds also this is how it is. This is my inner craving to reach so many people, to wake them up, to make them understand how much self-love is fundamental for everything. And I just don't know how. And while I was crying, I felt like when I stopped, all of a sudden, I felt like there must be a better way, there must be a quicker way. Like, if I went through this in 3 years, people don't have to do that. You know how people create courses so that other people don't have to do the same? This is what I want to do. Like, it doesn't have to be that long. If you are like, if you were diagnosed with a terminal disease, and I know that the cure is in facing your own shit deep down, and how can I make it, how can I inspire people, how can I make them to want it? And it's really tough. Like, it is painful. It is painful. And I'm starting with the stuff that I think people understand, like diet. Like, you have to eat healthy. Yes, it's a part of it, but it's not it. And I'm hiding, I'm playing small. I don't want to push. I don't want to upset people. I don't want to seem crazy. But this is not me. This is not me. And every time I want to kind of like start a series and be like scope every day and whatnot, and never happens. Like, I never carry anything through. So I wish I could tell you I'm gonna scope, or I'm gonna do the videos every day no matter what, like my diary. No idea, honestly. I hope I can, because I believe that also what Brené Brown said, no one talks about these dark nights of the soul, everybody talks about them afterwards. But it really is dark, and I wish I'd be brave enough to film the breakdown on video, because I believe that this is really freeing in terms of, if you see, to me it took time to learn to really let go and cry. It didn't come overnight. I used to cry like how I was crying because I wasn't allowed to cry, because I was told that I shouldn't cry, because I didn't know that crying is releasing and freeing and oh, so healthy and healing. And now I even discovered that in Finland they had criers, like they had people who cried for other people, like outsourced crying. It's kind of crazy. I have to research into that, but there's so much that I want to tell people about it, about the whole process. I don't know whether I'm gonna do it, whether I'll find the words, and secretly I'm hoping that this video is gonna go viral because it's really raw. It's like, it's very me. It's me talking to a best friend. Will I be crushed if there are gonna be no comments? I guess I expect it. I do not know. I do not know. I guess I'm gonna go to bed and see what's gonna happen tomorrow. I feel like backpedaling. I feel like taking some time off in terms of stop pushing the meditation program because I don't feel inspired right now, and I want it to be infused with the most amazing energy. Like when I record meditations, it feels amazing. So it's painful. It's like a birth process. I guess this is how it is. The birth process. It is fucking painful. So gotta go. Gonna go to bed. I really love you all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being in my mind. That I can talk to you. That I feel comforted and understood. And it feels really good. Thank you. Have a good night. Good night.